Hello everybody and welcome. Give me a second, I gotta add Mr. Trashman in, he's just arrived. Right, we should see the back of his head any moment now. Here we go. Righty ho, we are here for another Sunday. So guys, couple of changes we're going to be making. We have got a quick change to a home rule, which we discussed off here with the crew. And we're okay with that. For moving forward, our crit damage is going to be slightly different. So instead of maximizing our base weapon dice and then adding an addition, just rolling our crit die, we're now going to maximize all dice across the board and add modifiers. So whatever our weapon damage will be 2 dice of that weapon damage. So 1d8, an example is for a mace. The base damage will be 16. Add your modifiers and that'll be a crit damage. This will also work to hit spells. Same deal, maximize the die, all dice that are rolled for that. And then also we've discussed adding in, obviously, for save spells. So for save spells, if a natural 1 is rolled on the save, you'll take maximum damage as if it was a crit. If you make a natural 20 on your save, you will take no damage, again as if it was a crit success. It gives all the spells the ability to sort of basically have that crit damage, which I think is pretty cool. Also, just a reminder, when we are healing, ladies and germs, roll a d20 with your heals. If you get a natural 20 on your heal dice, which we'll call it a heal dice, if you get a natural 20 on that, it'll do maximum healing as well. So we get a crit chance on any of our heals. And I'll also extend that out to our potions. So if you are taking a potion, you'll roll your potion dice as normal, but roll a d20 as well. If you score a natural 20 on your d20 roll, your potion will do maximum heals. So I think that's a good trade-off for that as well, since I don't think we actually have a dedicated healer in this group. So potions are going to be something you guys are going to have to utilize and that in the future. So I guess Trashy's here. He's kind of here. He's here enough. We're going to get into the recap anyway. Welcome on everybody. Obviously, my name is Evldoa. We are a New Zealand /Australian TTRPG channel. All my players are from New Zealand and Australia, respectively. This is a homebrew campaign. This is episode 10 of our my second homebrew campaign set in the same world. We have been featured on the Kiwi RPG website for tonight as well, so hopefully we might see a few new faces coming in to hang out with us from the website with any luck. And we also have a link on the Kiwi RPG list of other Kiwi TTRPG channels and podcasts and YouTube channels and all the rest of it. You will find in the timers tonight, there'll be a link to the Kiwi RPG website. There's also a link in the panels below. Go check them out if you're looking for some strictly New Zealand TTRPG content. So it's not just Twitch channels, it's YouTube, podcasts and everything as well. So a whole bunch of them there. So without any further ado, we shall get into tonight's episode of Shadow's Embrace. So last we left off, you had stopped to camp for the night on your way to a suspected cultist movement at the famed Bastion of Ek. During the night, however, you were surrounded by bandits, it seems, asking for you to hand over your gold and lay down your weapons. Some of you did so. Tolvr, however, attacks and initiates a combat situation. The combat goes backwards and forwards with Marath's outstanding strength destroys one of these intruders with a single blow. Eventually, the leader of the group, once again asking for you to stand down, as it's not worth dying over a few coin. Tolvr, eventually realizing that you are outnumbered and outmatched in this particular situation, gives the order to stand down, which you all do so. The gold that is left on the ground is collected and taken away, and the bandits disappear. LV does a little bit of reconnaissance shortly thereafter and discovers that they left towards the south somewhat and then disappeared in the harder ground. The rest of the evening and the next 2 days go without incident as you head westward towards the Bastion, eventually coming upon the ruins of the old Bastion Keep, or the old Bastion Manor House, should I say, its grounds in tatters, save for a barn that was discovered in the rear of the estate, which seems to have been recently repaired, and has a nice, shiny-ish new lock attached to its main door. And this is pretty much where we rejoin you guys now, as you collectively gather yourselves and start to move towards this barn at the rear of the property. So I'll turn it over to you guys now. You've all pretty much just done your reconnaissance. You've had a bit of a search around the place. I believe it was I think it was Dilly, and whoever Dilly was with discovered the lock, and was possibly Various and someone else who discovered the building repairs, or the potential repairs on the building. And you've all now come together, moving it back round to the rear of the building. And I believe, Tolvr, you were about to give an order to investigate.
Yes, we should investigate.
Oh, we lost Trash.
Yeah, he said he'd be right back.
Oh, he's restarting PC. Okay, cool. We will move forward for now while waiting for Trash.
Nice shiny new look.
Yes, let's go have a look at that, see if it's locked from the outside or locked from the inside, or able to be locked from both.
Yeah, I guess they're here then, not like last time.
Well, that's what I was thinking about, being locked from the inside or outside. If it's locked from the outside, then there's probably nobody home. Unless there's another way in.
So as you move forward, this old abandoned outbuilding is located obviously to the rear of the old manor house. As you search around, you find a rather new looking, as you get closer, you find a rather new looking padlock with a chain attached to the thank you, Nutty. Almost forgot about that. I always forget it. Attached to the chain attached to the handles, which also look relatively new as well, which stands out because obviously this place has been abandoned for a long time, as the rest of the estate is quite evident. So do you want to have a good look around it first before doing anything, like have a good search around the actual barn itself?
With Dilly hearing that, that locked on the outside, she's going to actively look around to see if there's anyone in the bushes waiting to either, ambush or coming up just to randomly go to the barn or anything like that.
If you're having a good look around, roll perception check.
Ooh.
If anyone else wishes to join Dilly, you may do so.
Perception, that is a 16.
And we can hear you, Trash. You're back in. 16. Anyone else wanting to roll that check?
Sorry, complications.
No, you're good. Various with an 8. Tolvr with a 7. So with Dilly, Tolvr and Various, you don't really see anything out of the ordinary. Dilly, as you're searching, you sort of just looking around specifically in the front area looking for someone potentially hidden?
Around the front and peripheral as
Okay.
well. So doing
So-
that quite light turnaround.
You don't really see anything. Like there's no movement, there's no sounds other than the sounds that you guys yourselves are making. It's a pretty good roll, but there's generally nothing that stands out to you. The recent repairs you would notice now, down the left-hand side of the barn, it appears to be what would have been quite a substantial hole in the side of this barn, which would have naturally sort of fallen in with rotting timbers. It looks like the rotting timber has been ripped out and replaced with fresh timbers to, again, give privacy or even somewhat sturdiness to the exterior. The padlock itself looks pretty beefy. Looks pretty good. Relatively new. It's ones that you guys possibly would have seen at the keep on different areas. Not much, Josh. We've just done the recap, and you're now continuing from where you left off last night. So you approached the barn that you guys discovered last week at the back of the Bastion. You didn't watch the VOD, did you? You'll be fine. So you're with the group anyway. So as you're all standing in front of this door, like I said, decent sized chain, decent sized padlock on the outside. But Dilly, you don't see anyone else. You don't see anyone hidden that you're aware of.
LV, can you tell whether it looks like there's been recent movement here, like tracks and stuff?
LV will attempt to scan. DM, do you want a perception or an investigation?
Are you looking for tracks specifically? I would say investigation.
Yeah. Excellent.
(16) investigation. So LV, as you scan the area looking around, you do find several sets of footprints leading to and from the barn in multiple directions. Hard to tell how many, hard to tell what race, but there are definitely fresh-ish tracks leading to and from.
Affirmative, Cpl Tolvr. There are tracks over here leading this way and that.
I see. So there's definitely people being here then. Alrighty. Maybe we should have a walk around the outside just to make sure there's no other ways in, or
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Corporal. I mean, surely they wouldn't lock themselves in there if there wasn't some other way out. So they're either not in there or there's another way to get out, I would think.
yeah, alright, so we'll just go around to the right and walk around the building, just the group of us. Look at the building, look at around the area, just look at everything.
I'm so going to regret this, but I'm going to use detect magic around the building.
Let me just make a quick roll before we go down that road. Let's roll on the Arcane Anomaly table to see how far away a potential anomaly is. I'll also get you to roll an Arcana check, Dilly, before we do anything else.
Okay.
No? What was that? What was your roll? Natural 1?
7.
Oh, I was going to say,
7.
natural 1. Okay, so yeah, you don't feel untoward or out of sorts today. Like the last couple of times you've been thinking about casting magic, it's been quite evident that something's quite off. Today you're not really feeling it. Seems okay. So you cast detect magic. What level is detect magic? Level 1. You cast detect magic in a 60-foot radius. The only magical items that would show up to you would be anything that your party is wearing or using.
Okay. That's up for
Nothing
the next
else.
10 minutes.
Yeah, so nothing else at the stage. You start your circuit around this barn. I'll get everyone to roll a perception check this time. I will roll for Marath before I forget. We had a natural 1 in there. I heard that. So we have an 18, a 14, a natural 1, a 9,
A 9.
and another 9. So, did Maras roll?
Over in his face and gets mud in his eyes by the looks of them.
Dilly's too busy trying to see if there's any magical items around.
I rolled. Oh, because mine rolled. Duh. So Maras got a 14. So, with a natural 1, Tolvr is, yeah, you just... I'm not sure why you're distracted. Maybe you're just keeping an eye on the group, watching them specifically to see what they would do. Maybe taking notes on, I don't know, you're just watching your group more than watching what you're doing at this point. With the highest being an 18, Various, and probably Uth and Marath, you guys would notice it as well. No one else would at this point. You check along the west wall of the barn as you circumnavigate this barn, and you notice about 12 feet up is an area of boarding that looks like it could be a little loose. Definitely looks like it's been moved recently.
Well, either they're not very good at their jobs, or these boards don't look like they're very sturdy. Maybe this is a way in and out.
Where? What are you talking about?
Over there.
And Dilly's 3'5". 3'5".
Yeah, so they would point up, and it's literally 12 feet off the ground, so it's quite high up. The sides of the barn reach up around sort of 25 feet. It's like almost like a double-story barn. It's quite a tall bird, but about 12 foot up on one side. Yeah, there's definitely looks to be loose boarding of some description.
What time of day is it?
I think we established it was sort of mid-morning, heading into lunchtime-ish.
Okay, it's the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So, we got two options then. Someone's going to have to throw me up there, and we're going to climb up there, or someone picks the lock. It's not magical, but you may...
With your perception rolls as well, there is plenty of debris lying around. Like these old crates, these old barrels, just like this place has been well abandoned, so there's debris lying everywhere that you could probably quite easily use to potentially stack and climb, unless you want to throw Dilly or pick the lock.
I feel like Dilly could climb up on Marath. Marath's pretty tall.
He sort of looks up there and goes, I think even then Dilly would be too fucking short.
Or we could get our tin can to pick the lock, maybe.
Affirmative. This unit used to be highly trained in the lock-picking skills.
I hope it's okay to say, Corp. I think maybe we do both, and that way if we get trapped inside going through this way, we know we can get out the door, but if it's locked, then we're stuffed.
I like that logic. Plus I want to see someone try and throw Dilly. I mean, I've got wings and everything, but I mean, if we want to throw Dilly, I mean, I could just fly up there happy as. But we could just throw Dilly.
Or Dilly could cast a spell and get up there pretty much almost on her own.
It's true. But,
So yeah.
Leader of the party having discussions. Awesome.
I think Various has a good idea, but we'd need to find a way to make it seem as if the lock wasn't open but was. Can you do that?
I don't know how you do it.
It's a general.
Once the lock is picked, the lock is picked.
Can you
Alright.
make it seem as if it's not? not to give away our position.
Once this unit has picked a lock, it should be able to relock the lock and then repick the lock.
All
My
right,
head.
we'll go around the front and we'll watch LV pick the lock.
Okay, so you move back round to the front of the building. Unless anyone has any objection to this order given to you by your corporal.
Unless you want to do it, Oath. I know Trashy's got great dice.
Who is this trash you talk about?
I don't know. Some sort of weird thing came into my mind with my net 1 from before.
So,
Yeah.
LV, you have a good look at the lock, you scan it for a moment or two,
Scanning.
and then you take out your lockpicking tools. I assume you have some.
LV has them built into his fingers. They will see LV's hand move
Okay,
forward.
awesome. I was going to ask, because
Pop
how
open.
old are said tools? Because you've been
Said
locked
tools
away for
are
400
400
years.
years old.
But there's a
And,
part of you, I would say that they're probably not. There may be a slight penalty to this. We'll see.
There is some rusting, and my lockpicking skill is average.
Okay, so you worked towards the lock and you start your little lockpicking ritual. Roll your sleight of hand, yeah.
Yeah. And so you see that first two fingers on LV's right hand, the little ends flip open, two little prongs come out with little, they almost look like hairpins, I suppose, but made of metal. And he sort of jams them into the lock and he sort of wiggles them around. Here goes.
Here goes nothing. That's pretty good. 19. As you work the lock, the DC was set a little higher because of older tools, but you still managed to pass without too many hassles. You sort of get in there and you start working the lock and it sticks a couple of times. You think you sort of think, is that the lock or is it the tools? You're not entirely sure. Then eventually the lock gives up its secrets and the padlock swings down and opens.
Job complete. Tools in need of repair at some stage, but they are working.
Wow, LV is really good with his fingers, hey?
Very impressive.
Note for report, Corporal. LV needs more maintenance.
Do you have a bottle opener in there, LV? That'd come in handy.
Most average strength beings will open a bottle with their hands. Corks are not hard to remove.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Unless it's Marath that puts the cork in the bottle. Okay, let's go. And I want to try and go in stealthily.
Okay, if you wanting to stealth into, opening the door, yeah, roll stealth check. Anyone who's following Dilly's lead, as she steps forward in front of everybody, assuming command of this little band at the moment, and opens the door.
LV looks at
19.
Tolvr and says, orders.
Dilly's confident, follow her lead.
Indeed. So we got a 16 from Uth. We got a 19 from Dilly. 19 from LV. I better roll Maras too, before I forget.
Stealth mode active, silent running.
Tolvr with a 9, Varus with a 10, Maras with a 12. Not pretty good. I mean, the two 3 higher rolls definitely bring the average up, so we'll make it a group stealth roll here. Dilly takes the lead, stepping out into the front, and starts to pull open the door as quietly as possible.
Detect magic's still up.
You still sense nothing other than anything that your party would be wearing. I don't know if anyone has any magical items, but nothing at this point. You sort of peer into the barn. The sun's fairly high in the sky now, so you get that instant view of an old barn, the old stalls, the sun sort of streaming through the cracks, through the old rotted wood, giving that real sort of dusty sun shafts coming through into this seemingly empty building, it seems. A few old tools, implements of farming and that left around, but rusty as. Nothing overly interesting. Its interior is about 60 feet by 60 feet, consisting of a single room, first floor, and a second story loft. You can see the ladders that lead up on both ends, lead up to this loft area. Both seem to be pretty much rotten, about sort of 2/3 the way up, and fallen away. There's a few dozen crates lying around. One of them, as you can sort of see close to you, it seems like it's old rotting lumber and timber. It's seemingly empty from what you can see.
I will relay this to the corporal. Because I'm small and tiny, I figured I had probably a better chance. Do we proceed?
Yeah, well, it looks empty. Might as well go.
Again, Dilly's going to go in as quietly as possible.
We'll keep the same stealth rolls. So give me a marching order here, just for a point of reference. So Dilly's obviously in the front. Who's following Dillian? Is it you, Tolvr, or are you moving other people into position here?
I'd follow in, and I'd go sort of to the left, sort of spreading out.
So we're looking at Dilly, Tolvr.
LV would be where Tolvr puts him.
Okay. So I'd say probably Varys in the central sort of thing. I think Marith would definitely like to probably bring up the rear, sort of coming in almost backwards to make sure you're not being followed, not being looked at. So LV would be in that mix there somewhere as well, towards the back, I'd imagine. Up to Tolvr, where you want LV to be.
Tolvr's just said to follow Dilly, so
okay.
As a general...
The general order? No worries. LV would comply?
LV would be roughly central then.
No problem.
Various will be right near Marath.
No worries. So given that, you start to move in quietly, carefully. You get about 10 feet into the barn. Dilly and Tolvr, I need a dex saving throw from you both, please.
Yeah.
7. That is not good for you. Dilly. That looks like it's a good roll.
Natural 20?
That works. A natural 20 from Dilly. Night, JJ. Have a good one, buddy. So, as you both sort of step forward, Dilly, seems that your weight is not enough to cause this to happen to you, but the floorboard beneath your feet creaks heavily as you step onto it, and you hear a slight cracking sound. Then you step forward quickly. And as you turn, as Tolvr steps on the same set of floorboards, a much heavier frame, a little slower on the uptake. The boards crack beneath your feet, Tolvr, and you drop about 3 feet. It's not deep, but you sort of one leg in, one leg out, up almost up to your groin, pretty much up to your groin on one side. So you're sort of half prone with your legs stuck in a bunch of floorboards. You'll take 1 point of slashing damage as the breaking boards tear up your leg as you drop into this little, it's not really even a hole, it just sort of drop through the floorboards a little bit.
Corporal, you okay?
The floor might be weak. Or I'm just fat. I don't know why my health didn't go down on the character sheet.
Is that scene being said out loud?
I would say so.
Nah, he's fat. That's all it is.
East, are you light? Asking?
Ruth, you've been spoken to.
Sorry?
Uth, are you light?
I don't know. I think I'm light. Other people may think I'm heavy.
He's definitely light on common sense, eh? Yeah.
Affirmative.
Perhaps the
I
Corporal,
agree.
if you don't mind the suggestion, perhaps the two lighter ones should go up ahead.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Mhm. So whoever is the lightest out of everybody
Yeah,
that I could
so-
possibly think of.
Yeah, Mara steps
Probably
forward
good
and
luck.
helps. Mara steps forward and helps you, Tolvr. Like, just grabs you under your armpit and sort of lifts you out of the hole. Sort of not getting too close to where the rotting floorboards are. Looking around, roll another perception check. Tolvr, Dilly, and say Various, probably the ones. Oh no, Various was with Mara, so Uth, roll the perception check, sorry. Dilly, Tolvr, and Marius. Not Marius, Uth. 4 from Dilly. 18 from Uth. And 11. No, it's not too bad. So as you're looking around, as you've been pulled out of these cracked, rotten floorboards, you can see these patches where obviously the rain's come through at some point, and it's just patches of rotting floorboards in random places. It's when you actually, now that you're looking, it's pretty obvious that there are some patches here that are not safe to step. Other areas look okay, and with a perception check of 18, Uth, you can see where people have walked. You can see the tracks through the, not visible tracks, but you can see where people have sort of walked around these areas and sort of heading towards the back of the barn.
Cool. Looks like I can navigate around these pitfalls if you like. If you guys want to follow me, I can see where they've walked.
Okay, Earth, you take lead. Everyone else follow Earth.
Affirmative.
Yes, Corporal.
And
So,
Tolvr is going to wait until they're all gone and go last.
okay, no worries. So, Uth, you lead the way. As you're walking around, you move around these areas where it's obviously rotten. You can all see it now that sort of Uth's following a specific line, a path through the dust and dirt and the old straw. And you can see those old areas because the straw itself has rotted away as well, leaving almost bare portions where the old wet timber is dried and become wet again and dried and become wet and just weakened over time. The floorboard does creak underfoot, which would probably a little bit of PTSD from Tolvr as he crosses over as well. He could have watched his feet. Every time a board creaks or cracks, he'd be like, oh my god, is it going to break? But you're good. You get towards the back end of this barn. No need for any kind of rolls. You see a single door on the left-hand side, which has, just with the way that it's built into the side of the barn, you know it doesn't go through the edge of the barn. You've gone around the barn, you know that it doesn't go through the side. So observation and basic perception would tell you that it probably goes beneath the barn. Maybe a root cellar, a wine cellar perhaps. Some form of cellar is definitely under this barn. This door looks like it's been repaired as well. There is 2 or 3 planks on it that are a lot newer than the rest of the door. So that much is plainly obvious just by looking at it.
I guess the cultists are underground. Is that common for cultists? They live underground?
Live wherever, I guess. Go wherever they want. Shall we open the door then?
So the last charge of my detect magic wouldn't see anything either, would it?
By this, how long does it last? Like 10 minutes, right?
10 minutes. That's why I said
this whole excursion would have taken that whole 10 minutes. So yeah, nothing out of the ordinary stands out to you.
Okay. In for a penny, in for a pound. Let's go.
Excellent.
So who's opening the door?
I suggest we let the tin can open the door.
Well, LV, you might as well check to make sure that this one's locked or not.
Affirmative. And LV steps forward and checks the door.
It is not locked.
This door seems to open with a turn of a handle, Uth.
Excellent. Turn the handle.
And by
Oh,
all
he
means,
does.
just open it as I step back.
LV, as you open the door, the hinges squeak heavily and loudly. But nothing happens, apart from a lot of squeaking iron on iron, rusty hinges. What you see before you is a very rickety looking wooden staircase that leads down into darkness.
And with the sound of the hinges, Dilly's taking the knives from her boots and up to her waist.
No worries.
Corporal, this door clearly needs oil. There are stairs descending.
Well, it looks like there's people repairing this place, so sooner or later I'm sure they'll oil the door. Shall we go down? You're at the door already. LV, why don't you go down and... what sort of... Is it light down there or dark?
It's leading down into darkness, 100%. You can all see
Dilly
that.
will be right behind LV.
Yeah, I would have asked that to LV.
Okay, sorry.
It is fairly dark, Corporal. Would you like me to light a torch?
Yeah, I suppose so. That'd be a good idea.
Affirmative. This one needs to be supplied a torch.
Have a torch. LV will give him a torch.
Okay, I will add that to your inventory
Gratitude.
while I'm thinking
LV
about
lights
it.
the torch. Heads down the stairs cautiously, but as stealthily as he can with a glowing light in his hand.
Okay, give me 1 second because I can't turn any torches on in here without a torch in your inventory. So I'm going to add you some. Righty-ho then. So Dilly, you were after LV, yes?
Yes.
Who was after Dilly?
Marath, you might as well go next then. Oath and Laris, and I'll bring up the rear.
And I will use my small size to be in between people taller than me to kind of crunch and make myself tiny so
No
as if I'm not being seen.
problem. So with that,
Tolvr is effectively sending everyone else down the stairs, still suffering the PSTS.
no worries. So
If they can do it, I can do it.
LV, you light a torch that you were handed. It sparks into life, giving you about 40 feet of vision, 20 foot bright and further 20 foot of dim vision, which would definitely help Dilly with her dark vision, which would give her a further 20 feet outside of that radius as well. You descend into darkness and you find yourselves in what appears to be not a cellar, but a cavern of sorts. I will pause this for now. Just don't go roaming around because there are things here that will trigger certain events for dice rolls that we need. So just be cautious when you're moving in what direction and sort of let me know what's happening. So the light you can see is light that's emanating from around. Just give me 1 second. So as you move into this chamber, into this cabin, you see light flickering from seemingly 2 directions. Off to your right, approximately, we're looking at about 30 feet or so off to your right, you can see a flickering light, and about 25 feet to your left, you can see another, it's definitely torchlight flickering. But you can also hear a deep voice, almost like it's in conversation with itself. You hear, it kind of echoes a little bit in the cabin, but it's like, I got you, I'm gonna win. And you hear the cracking of bones together, almost. And then you hear that same voice again, sort of answering itself backwards and forwards. Well, you don't play fair. I win. No, you can't win. It's my turn. And it just backwards and forwards like that. Very deep, very simple sounding voice, it seems.
That's interesting.
That's a bit disconcerting.
Um,
Can we tell which direction it's coming from, or?
It's kind of more to the. It seems like it's more to the left, although this cabin sort of, you're looking at this area where you're in is about. It looks like the cabin sort of slopes up to a dome, sort of 25, 30 foot high ceiling. The in that area there, but then it sort of closes off in front of you there, and then it moves around and it dips down to maybe 12 feet to that little cabin you can see off in this direction here. And again, the sort of dips down to a lower section down to the bottom there as well. Sounds like it's coming more from the left, but it almost sounds like it's coming from the other side as well. It's kind of echoey through here, so it's a little hard to tell.
Oh, we're definitely not alone down here.
Oh, I got you. I'm going to break your arms off and I'm going to beat you to death with them. Crack, crack, crack. As you can hear, sort of bones smashed, literally bones being cracked together.
I can see the light, but I can't see my party.
It's because you have no vision, because you're no, you should be able to see your party. Click on your token. Make sure your token's selected. Because I can see everyone with your token selected. Because LV's got a light.
Black.
Might just have to reload it.
Might refresh it, yeah. Because yeah, I can see what your token sees, and you should be standing inside the torchlight, so you should be able to see everyone. Because can everyone else see everybody? Just before you go any further.
Yeah, that worked.
Okay, cool. Yeah, anything like that, just refresh. Sometimes it'll be a graphics thing.
Alright. Ooh, pick a direction.
Gets out a coin. Oh, hang on. Do we have coin?
Technically
/roll, /roll space D2 in the chat, or in the chat and Twitch chat, just !coin, I think, or coin flip will give you a coin flip.
Oath has the 10 gold that Tolvr ordered him to take.
He also has dice that he could roll too. So Evans will say it's heads, so heads, Booth. That's if you have a coin.
Hang on, let me have a look.
Tolvr gave him 10.
Yeah. So that would be heads.
Left it is.
Left it is.
So are you going to move stealthily or no?
Well,
Yes.
we can hear stuff moving, so yes, we should
Yes,
move.
you can
stealth.
hear a voice, you can hear things moving. Roll stealth checks, everybody.
If the order was to move stealthily, LV would put the torch out and hug the wall.
Okay. Torch is out. So that would mean
Gilly,
most of you would not be able to see anything apart from the torchlight.
Gilly got a 21.
Nice, 21. Varus with a 19. Marius with a 6. Tolvr with a 19. Uth with a 19. Some high rolls there. So, the only one with a low roll, only two with a low roll, is LV and Marius, it seems.
As soon as I extinguished the light, I hit the wall to hug it.
Yeah, Marius sort of stumbles as well and says, "Oh shit!" Walks into Tolvr as he passes you. It's sort of see, but not really. He sort of stumbles forward to the left. So who's going to lead this group moving forward? You guys can move yourselves into position. Move
suspect
yourselves
Dilly
to
should.
about there.
So I suspect Dilly
Maybe a
should,
little
considering-
forward, a little further forward, and you'll be able to
further
see
forward?
what I want you to see. There you go.
Yep.
So you
There
can
we
move
go.
yourself back a little bit now, so you're not sort of in line of sight. Because you would still hear the voice as you were moving up.
Toby is going to whisper, Dilly, you take the lead because you can see, and everyone else follow. Just
So very quietly, you all move forward. I need to make a quick roll here. Just to briefly... Okay. The voice continues as you sort of peek around the corner there, Dilly. You see this large individual. As you sort of move, you see him look up, and you can't really look up. This is the weird thing about it. This guy is he's large. He's an ogre, which is quite clear to see. He's carrying in one of his hands like a chunk of wood. It's not a club. It's a chunk of wood with large nails embedded in it. He is hideously deformed on, like you can sort of see down one side. His face is melted almost to his left shoulder. So his head is cocked down to his left side quite drastically. And it's almost like his left shoulder is forming into his face. So one of his eyes is droopy and almost eyeless, and the other looks pretty good, but you can see he's sort of sitting there against this little rise. He's got two what can only be described as human skeletons almost, and he looks like he's playing, for want of a better term, he's playing dolls with them, and he's like battling with each other, and you can hear him sort of talking to himself, which is what you heard before, him just sort of back and forth, and he's hitting them together, and it looks like he's enjoying himself. But he's seated. He hasn't seen you at this point.
Who's behind Dilly?
You have Tolvr directly behind Dilly.
So, Corporal, we have a bit of a ogre situation. Looks like he's playing dolls with skeletons. Orders.
it's probably not very bright if he's an ogre.
But he's very strong being an ogre. He looks a
Indeed.
little malformed, like he's melted.
Well, if you got any fire spells, we could melt him a bit more.
No, most of my spells require me to not be quiet. I am a storm sorcerer.
You think we should go the other way then? Because I can't see anything.
Would you like me to investigate the other side?
Yes, but don't put yourself in any danger.
Of course.
Look around the corner.
And with that, Dilly will check the other side.
Okay, so move yourself. Your current stealth check will hold as you move to check the other corridor.
So, and I'm just gonna move myself back a little because I just wanted to peek around the corner and see how I could do it.
So that's fine. You move up to the corner of this, and immediately you can see a lit torch on the side of the wall, and you see what looks to be almost like a kitchen area, or not really a kitchen. There's a table in the center of this room. You're down a bit of a steps. You can sort of just see the other end of the table. So obviously from where you are, you probably wouldn't see all of that room. You'd see the far end of it, sort of this end of it being elevated above the stairs and being the height that you are. But it's well lit from what you can see. You don't see any movement at all.
So nothing flickering No shadows with the light or anything like that.
No, it just seems like an empty room.
Okay, I will walk back.
But what you also
to-
would have seen is about here,
Hmm.
the passage veers around to the left as well. So you can assume that it maybe joins up with the passage that you're seeing on the other side there.
Okay, so I will go back to the corporal.
Get back there.
Corporal, we're going to be passing by this ogre either way, but it looks like a dining area down that way.
Alright, well, if he's an ogre, we might have to fight him.
But the other way we may be able to sneak past easier.
Maybe we could chat to him. Maybe he knows where the cultists are.
Your call, Corporal.
How about this? Why don't Marath and Oath go around the other way, and we'll go through this way, and if he wants to be hostile, then they can come up from behind him.
Noted. Okay, guys, move out.
I have a suggestion, Corporal.
Okay.
Take LV with us.
Okay, take
Meant to
LP.
be an assassin droid or something. A tin can.
Actually, yes, you're right. He would make a good person to jump out from behind. We'll go this way, or you guys go down there, and in a minute's time, we'll go through there and see if we can talk to the ogre. If he
Understood, Corporal.
wants to attack us, then you'll probably hear him charge.
With those orders, LV puts his hand on Uth's shoulder so he can be guided through the darkness.
Okay.
And with that, because I can't see shit as well, I put my hand on the wall of the cave.
Okay. So you guys are moving down to the other corridor?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll move you. And LV, who else was going?
Marath, I believe.
Okay, so Maris goes with you. So I'll put you guys down there. So you guys should be able to sort of see yourselves now with the torchlight. With the light that's there. So, who's doing what as Marath, Uth, and LV slowly move around to the opposite end? You're going to continue to move around into so you can see the ogre? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
I will need you guys, the three of you together, to roll another stealth check if you're going to be moving into a different area.
Oh shit. That one.
That one from Uth. Marth didn't do much better with a 5, so LV is the highest there. So Uth and Marath, Uth, what armor are you wearing? Just out of curiosity.
Give me a sec.
Mail, I believe.
Leather.
Leather. Maybe your sword scrapes the stone as you sort of round the corner there, and it makes a distinctive sort of again this metal on stone scraping sound as you round the corner, and Marath sort of reaches forward to grab you and pull you back, and inadvertently slams his double-ended scimitar into the rock as well, making a loud sort of noise between the two of you.
And LV moves right back behind Marath, and hearing that and goes, "Oh dear."
You can continue
Dylan's
to.
gonna go, "Shit."
Everyone would have heard it. It would have been quite loud. I just need to double check something here. Ooh, I need to roll for that. That's with that passive. Yeah. Okay. So, Dilly, what you would hear. Well, actually, those of you at the top end, actually, probably would all hear this. He's not quite. You hear. What was that? Someone's interrupting Sticky's game. Throws the bone. You hear the bones hit the ground, and then you hear heavy footsteps leading away from you guys up the top of the map there, but leading towards you guys. So LV, Uth and Maras, you can hear heavy footsteps. And then Uth, you would see this large, hideous looking ogre standing up. He's quite very tall, but his head's cocked to one side, and he, like, so you can see that skin really tight, and it's taut against and melted to his face.
On hearing him coming, I would have gone back around.
Okay, so back away just a little bit. Please. Yeah. So you would back away. I dare say you all would back around the corner.
Yeah.
No worries. Not on Marath. So you back away around the corner, making sure you don't break line of sight, and you hear this ogre stomp, 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 stops about the torchlight there. So looks around. Someone's here. I can smell him. What do you do?
Stay where I am, but quietly.
You're gonna stay still?
Yeah.
I'm going to.
I'll get to you guys in a minute. I'll finish up these guys first. So, Uth, LV, and Marath, are you going to stand still and just wait and attempt to maybe hide, maybe stay quiet, or are you going to move?
LV would stay and waiting for orders.
So I'll get all three of you to roll another stealth check with an attempt to stay still and quiet after you have failed miserably. The DC is going to be set a little bit higher because you have alerted this person. Better from Uth and LV. Unfortunately, Marath rolled a 4. So Marath sort of gets around there and again bumps into Uth. As you guys you can see from the light, but you're stepping back into darkness. Probably stands on Uth's foot, causing Uth to sort of go under without even realizing, just knee-jerk reaction. And Marath just sort of turns and says, "Oh fuck, sorry." And again, you just hear, it's like, "I know you're there. I can hear you." We'll leave you guys there just for a moment. So Cpl Tolvr and Various, you've heard the commotion that these guys have made. You've heard this creature get up, say something and walk away. You've heard those footfalls go further away. But did you guys hear that? Bless you, Nutty. Then you've also heard him call out down the other end of the hall. So you guys know that he's down there with them. What are you guys up to?
Alright, no choice by the looks of things.
Permission to do something stupid and dangerous, Corporal?
Yeah,
It might work. I might be able to get him on our side. Did you hear him say his name? Was it Stucky or
yeah, that's what I thought I heard.
Sticky? If you two back me up, I'm gonna go in and we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I make it out alive. And I'm gonna walk out into
Okay, move yourself out.
space.
I probably don't know that you could see him where you are right now.
No, I
You'd
can't see him yet.
Yeah, so you'd have to. I mean, we're not in initiative yet, so you can keep moving further down. You can see where he's dropped the bones, the skeletons. You can see a few other bones lying around on the floor, and like I said, it's very evident that this creature has been playing with remains of humans, or I mean humanoid creatures. There's spines, there's bits of bone, there's all sorts of stuff. So you can now see the arse end of this creature.
There's a lot of stuff here. And I'll sort of stand there, and I'm going to
you got line of
cast
sight.
at first level, Charm Person.
Okay, what's the save on that?
It is. Dang it!
I think I mean, yeah. So it should, I think it's a wisdom save in it.
It's a wisdom.
So I know his wisdom save's a
10
shit house.
low.
So, his wisdom save's not great. So, let's see. Oh, he rolled really well. 14.
Yeah. My wisdom save's only 10.
You know, his wisdom's only 7.
Dang it.
But yeah, I reveal the save there. So he rolled a 14. So he is he aware that you've cast it?
I
I think they are, aren't they?
believe so.
If they know after they've been hit by it,
Does-
or they know once they've been charged.
Yeah, I was looking at his intelligence. He sort of looks up. You see him look up, sort of sniff the air. Like again, when I say look up, his head's permanently here. So he sort of looks up. That whole shoulder moves, and he sort of looks around. That was weird. I'm coming to get you. And he's talking back down the other way.
Jilly is going to cast Minor Illusion and use Sound. And I think I can go up to 30 feet away. I can make it so just about here.
Yep.
Where the bones and where he was playing. But we were playing. Don't you want to play with us anymore?
Yeah, he's not intelligent enough to determine whether that's real or not. You guys, Varys, you would see him, definitely see creature slowly turn. Oi, who are you?
Sticky, we've come to play. How you doing, buddy? Oh God, I'm gonna die.
More toys. And he rolls right up to both of you. Yeah. Give me 1 second. We are going to...
Yeah, and as he moves away, I feel like Elvie would move forward.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys wanted to move forward as he moves away, definitely put yourself into... I mean, you would have heard various as well, so you guys are more than welcome to put yourself into where you think you would be in this moment before we roll initiative.
Tolvr is going to reach into his bag. He's going to pull out.
Just a question to the DM. Can I see those figures?
Can we not interrupt each other, please? Can we wait until
Sorry.
someone's finished talking?
Go ahead, Tragedy.
No, you go, Tolvr.
Alright, Tolvr is going to reach into his bag and he's going to pull out the human arm that he has.
Oh my God.
And he's going to say, "Here you go, Sticky, we bought you a gift. It's a nice meal. We want to be your friend." And he's going to hold out the human arm to him.
Nice try. I didn't expect that. Hold that thought. So, DM question. Yes, Trash.
So those figures I see up there, can I actually see
You
them,
won't be
or
able,
is
you won't be able to see them. That'll be out of your line of sight.
that- Okay.
So you're talking about these guys up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this drops down quite a few way. So these steps drop down. And so, yeah, from what you probably wouldn't be able to see those in actual fact. So just, yeah, don't worry about them right now. In fact, I probably should have made them invisible so you couldn't see them. So that's kind of my bad. So no, you can't see them. See, they're gone.
So all right. So yeah, I guess he's gone to move up to them, so we'll keep moving up forward.
Yeah. So if you guys want to allow you guys to put yourself here, ready for the possible combat situation, because if you were to move forward and with your existing order, I'd say you would have sort of followed up as he moved. So Tolvr, you pull out this arm from the day from 2 days ago. Because it's been 2 days since that night, so it's a bit whiffy. It's definitely, I mean, you probably would have noticed the smell starting to waft from your backpack before then, but it's definitely a bit whiffy. And the ogre turns to you and goes, "Smells rotten. What'd you do to it? Supposed to cook it first."
Oh, it's perfectly good.
And you see he almost tries to retch. It's like, "Sticky no like." And we will roll initiative as Sticky raises his club and attempts to cave Tolvr's face in. So, Dilly, what is your initiative, please?
4.
I need to roll Maras. Just waiting on LV.
Yeah, LV's just checking his initiative. I thought I had something, but I'll just roll it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you got advantage or not.
I don't think so at this stage. Might have been something I was looking up.
All right, so the combat begins with Uth. You get the initiative jump here with Maras on board. Oh, bring that down a little bit. So Uth, you've seen from your position, you've watched Tolvr bring this arm out and sort of you've heard him say what he said to this creature. This creature's just sort of almost retched and then just raised its club and getting ready to attack. So your attack first, Uth.
With that, moving up to him, hopefully.
Yep, no problem.
And attacking.
Maras would have moved up as well.
Rapier. 9 to hit.
9 will miss. As you go to thrust with your rapier, maybe it's the fact that you're having trouble seeing in the sort of dim light, miscalculate, you just miss completely. Is that your only attack?
Well, I'd get 1 attack per action, so I guess it is.
That is. You do have a bonus action. You can offhand strike with your bonus action.
Doesn't have it.
Don't have it? Well, then if you don't have it, we don't get it. Cool. That is your turn. Next up is Maras. Maras sort of sees this and thinks, ah, fuck. And moves in. Again, actually, re-roll that attack. You get advantage. You're in a flanking position there, Oath. I should have, you're right in between allies, so I'll get you to re-roll that attack for me, please. Trashy.
Sorry, what was that?
Re-roll your attack, please. You've got advantage because you're flanking.
10.
Still misses. So we're good. Still missed. So Maras rocks up and goes, sort of out the way, Uth. I got this. And Maras will definitely rage because that's what Maras does. And he will attack with his double-bladed scimitar. He will also get the advantage on the attack. And he will do 7 slashing damage with on the poor little ogre there. As he slashes away with the double-handed scimitar. I believe he only gets 1 attack action as well. And Sticky goes, ow, why for you hit me? And that is Maras' turn. Tolvr is your turn. LV on board after Sticky.
Tolvr's gonna throw the arm in his face.
Oh, you got advantage on the attack too because of flanking, and for the arm, we'll say. Throwing the arm in the face, going to attack, so we'll give you advantage on the attack.
I'm gonna try and remove one of his legs with a low shot with my axe.
Go for it. Let's move this position a little bit so we can see everybody here.
If it'll let me. Alright, screw this, I'm going back to D&D Beyond because I can't figure it out. Great axe. Ah, that's right. 22 to hit.
22 hits, most definitely. Roll your damage.
7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. He's opened up a couple of big wounds here between Marath and yourself. Poor Sticky's not looking... He's not too hurt, but he's got a couple of big wounds there. Is that your turn, Tolvr? As you strike forward with your axe, throwing the arm in his face, using it as a distraction.
Am I able to move between Varys and him and Sticky?
If Varys allows you, yeah. I mean, Varys is not in base to base, I would say.
He's not base to base.
I'd say he's probably just outside of Sticky's range, even though Sticky is technically a large creature. But if you wanted to move in between, you could.
Yeah, I'd like to consider myself between the two of them, basically.
If Varys allows you, then I would allow that, definitely. Yeah. If you, like, Tolvr literally sort of pushes you back a little bit and steps in front of you, putting himself in between you and this giant creature. Because, give you some reference, Sticky's about 12 feet tall, even with his head cocked heavily to one side.
Yeah. Move back, Varys. I can take the hit.
Is that your turn, Tolvr? So it is now Sticky's turn, and indeed, you move in front, and Sticky, club raised high, smashes down upon you with a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Doing 11 points of bludgeoning damage. In a single blow, crushing down on the top of your shoulder and neck. I like this game.
Me too.
And that is his turn. LV, it is your turn. Varys on board.
LV has one question.
Yes.
Has the character called Sticky noticed LV yet?
I would say no. So sneak attack is a thing. And advantage on the attack as well, because you have plenty of allies within 5 feet.
Excellent. Advantage would have been if he hadn't noticed me, but yes, sneak
you
attack
get
is excellent.
you get the advantage because of that, but you get sneak attack because of the advantage and because of your friends, technically.
Very good.
So sneak attack would have been a thing anyway.
So LV gets down on one knee, positions to try the shot between Marath and Oof.
Okay.
And he's going for the back of the knee of this creature.
Kind of drop into one knee. Let's give it a shot.
And at advantage.
And
what the hell was it?
You did 10. I missed. Unfortunately, even with an advantage, a miss with a 10. So not a natural one. So you do not strike your friends, but it does make it between them, but strikes the concrete, the rock and that just to his right hand side. So unfortunately, his shot goes slightly wide.
As he sort of has the crossbow linked to his arm, he sort of reaches down, his leg pops open, and a little packet of, well, I say a packet, a little sheath holding crossbow bolts flicks out, and he just puts his hand down into it, reloads the crossbow, and he gets it ready for the next run. As he moves forward just a tad, gets a better position, gets back down on one knee. And that is it for LV.
No worries. So LV just got an advantage from the chat as well, from Bubble Brat Blue Jay.
Thank you. I'll put that in.
So that is it for LV. Varys, you're up. Dilly on board. So Varys, you now have Tolvr in front of you, who's taken a massive blow from this creature. And a D10 for Baz as well from the chat.
Oh man, that looks really rough, Corporal Tolvr, and I'll reach out my hand and cast Cure Wounds on Tolvr.
What level spell is Cure Wounds?
That's a level 1.
Level 1, okay. Some healing damage coming in.
Alright, I'll roll my d20 first.
Roll your d20 to see if it crits. It does not.
No. Cast. Yay!
We get a 1 healing damage. So Tolvr, you take 1 point of healing. As Various casts Cure Wounds on his corporal. It does a little bit. Better than nothing. But maybe it's the sight of this giant ogre putting Various off, not concentrating on a spell, or perhaps the wild magic that is floating around the realm is playing havoc with his spells. Is that your turn, Various?
I'm really gonna work on my spells. I'm gonna back up.
Yep. You will not take attack of opportunity. Tolvr put himself in harm's way, so you're good.
So,
The Drax gets a D10 from the chat. It's an inspiration to Drax.
oops, I'm targeting myself. Boop.
So Various moves himself back out of harm's way. Let's scoot this
It'll
down
be
here a
my
little
turn.
bit. Next up is Dilly at the end of the initiative order. So Dilly, you've seen what's going on from your position around the corner. This creature's surrounded. He's taken some heavy hits, but he's also given a decent hit as well.
Dilly's just going to move forward a little bit to guarantee that she's got full sight.
No problem.
And she's going to cast Firebolt.
Firebolt, cantrip, roll the hit.
She's going to miss because everyone else has missed with a 7.
7 does miss. The firebolt goes wide, striking the rock face just behind him.
Fuck. And she'll take a step back to get herself out of line of
No worries.
attack.
And
that's her turn.
back to the top of the initiative order with Uth. It is now your turn again.
Attacking with a rapier.
Rapier with advantage.
With advantage.
Yep. So remember, shift click in D&D Beyond to give yourself an advantage roll.
There.
17 to hit. That hits. Roll your damage, Mr. Uth.
5 damage.
5 points of piercing
also,
damage. Is it rapier?
Yeah.
So it's slashing or piercing? Slashing, I think.
Piercing.
Piercing. So once again,
Also,
yes,
I do have 2 weapon fighting, which does give me another.
gives you
attack.
offhand. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. Because
yeah. I was pretty sure you had 2 of them fighting. That's all good.
It just doesn't have the.
You just don't have your modifier. Yeah. Not unless you took the dual wielder feat. Would you get your modifier? 11
And-
just hits.
Alright, so. 1.
1 more point of piercing damage. Every little bit helps. So Uth strikes forward with a lunging attack into the kidneys of Sticky with his one rapier, piercing it and then across with the other, slashing across his back, doing another point of damage. Sticky sort of arches up and says, "Ow!" And is that your turn, Uth?
That it is.
Marath is on board. Marath sort of looks at you, Uth, and goes, and he rolls his attack at advantage with his double-bladed scimitar. Rolls a 10, misses, unfortunately, and sort of looks at you and goes, shrugs your shoulders. I don't think he gets the second attack. No, he doesn't. That is Marath's turn. Still raging. Tolvr, it is now your turn with Sticky on board, and I'll be after that.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to my axe.
So at advantage because of
Right.
flanking.
Yeah, I closed my window.
Well, that was clever.
No, I was trying to look at something else, so I was moved it. Great axe. 9 to hit.
A 9 does not hit. Did you roll it at advantage?
No, I did not.
Roll it again.
12 to hit.
That hits.
With 2 damage.
2 points of the piercing damage. Or slashing damage, I think, for you.
As a bonus action,
Yes.
I'm going to use my bite.
So, striking out with the axe, you catch him on the arm, and he sort of looks down at you and sort of with a confused look on his face, and then you reach out and bite down on his forearm. With an 18, definitely hits.
Which is 6 points of damage.
Whoo! 6 points of damage. Why is that condition not added on? Oh, no, it is on there. He's bloodied. He's looking pretty bloody now. He's looking not happy at all. Is that your turn as you chomp down on his arm and take a chunk out of it?
And he's going to take that chunk and he's going to chomp and swallow it.
No worries. It's very bitter tasting. It's not overly nice, but it's not bad, I would say. Next up is LV with Varys on board. Actually, no, sorry, Sticky first, then LV. Tolvr's done the most damage, unfortunately, and he's not overly intelligent, so he's going to keep wailing on you, Tolvr.
Sweet.
Normal attack. Oh yeah, that definitely hits. 22 to hit.
Yep.
He smashes you with 13 points of bludgeoning damage. Right in the face.
I'm down.
So Tolvr collapses in a heap. I will mark you as unconscious.
I forget what you wanted to do with this campaign.
That's a good. It's still death saves as normal.
Alright.
You rolled your death save yourself and DM me the result, or you can DM me the result in Foundry or in VDO, wherever it's easiest for you. So, you guys watch as your corporal drops unconscious with this heavy blow, and Sticky sort of almost jumps with excitement. Another one to play with. And that is his turn. So LV, it is your turn. And we've got Varys on board after that.
LV takes a knee after reloading the crossbow. Looks at the creature. I'm going to use an advantage that Dill Cripple gave me last week.
Advantages are allowed on death saves. So any advantage you keep in store, you can put on any roll. So it's available for death saves as well. The D10s are not, however.
I'm aiming for the back of his knee again. I want to put him down.
21 to hit, definitely hits. With a 7.
And that'll be, I'll add my sneak attack to that as well.
You will. Plus 8, so that is 14. 14 points of damage. LV, describe the death of Great Sticky.
Well, as you say, LV, or as I said, LV bends down, takes the shot, looks at the back of the knee, follows a vein, and goes, that will put him in an unconscious state, for I cannot kill another living creature without the order.
Indeed.
Shunk, and fires it into a place that it would hopefully put him into either an unconscious position or a position where he is...
I forgot about that, yes.
Yeah.
So we'll have him at
basically
1 HP, but he will be unconscious.
And LV will then call... because Tolvr is down, correct?
Tolvr is definitely down, yes.
LV would then call, the creature is incapacitated. Someone deal with the corporal.
For all intents and purposes, we'll say we're out of combat, because as you call out that, whoever was next in the combat, which I believe was Various, you would take care of Tolvr, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rush forward and take care of Tolvr.
And at this point, I think Marath, just without even hesitation, would raise the double-handed scimitar and just plunge it into Sticky's unconscious body, ending his life.
Yep, Dilly would have given the order. With the corporal being down, she's next in charge, so she would have given the order.
Yeah, you would have been after Various as well, so role play it out, if you like.
Kill it! And get to the corporal. Now!
Mara just doesn't even respond to the order. Just lifts scimitar, squelch in the back into his back, ending the life of the ogre. Literally,
Kneel down.
you can hear it go ka-ching into the concrete below.
So Varys will kneel down and administer one of his healing potions to Tolvr.
Roll a d20.
Yes. And I'll look at Sticky and I'm like, if I was better at magic, we could have been friends, Sticky. I'm sorry. And then I'll. Oh, damn it!
Oh, one off. Not quite.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta target him. We're doing sophisticated stuff here, folks.
So it appears that the cultists are making coffee out the back there. You can hear a bunch of noise coming from inside the chambers there.
While Tolvr is getting healed, LV moves to
So
Dilly,
7 points.
LV moves to Dilly and says, "Question, P1C.
Yes. Yes, LV.
Directive 7. All life is precious. This unit was unable to target the enemy to put it down to save Tolvr. I apologize."
LV, you have your directives. You made it so we could get to the corporal and deal with it as needed. Orders standing till corporal says otherwise. If one of us goes down, kill the one that put us down.
Directive unheard. Cannot change directive without code.
I thought it was order. I didn't mean directive, order.
Order is in direct confirmation of a directive. Therefore, directive overrules. Apologies, P1C.
Understood, LV. You stick to your directives. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Corporal Tolvr can give the order for assassination only.
Ah. Understood.
Might I resupply?
Yes.
Pick up my
Resupply.
box.
Yes. Of course.
Okay, so how many did you fire that actually hit Sticky?
One hit, one missed.
So the one that hit, you can recover. The one that missed, roll a d6 for me. Evens, it's okay. Odds, it's broken.
Dilly's going to walk up to Tolvr.
It's all good.
Give him a potion that she has on her belt. And so you may want to give the orders for him to assassinate if one of us goes down.
Alright. I assume I'm awake again.
You are. You are at 7 HP. You are conscious.
Dilly has given you a health potion.
So you have another health potion of healing if you wish to use it, which is 2d4 plus 2. Roll a d20 first. See if it maxes its heal on a natural 20. It does not, so just roll as normal.
So you said 2d4.
2d4 plus 2, yep. So that'll be 5 points of healing damage.
Magic.
So I just need to make a quick roll because you guys were out here fighting. It was loud. Sticky was definitely loud. I just need to check something here. You do hear movement. Sounds like it's coming from this direction.
Okay, at the sound of the movement, Dilly's going to use minor illusion and sound again to pretend she's being sticky and doing the, I told you that I didn't want you to do this and didn't want you to do that. You're not playing very nice, and I'm doing the whole thing again.
Roll deception check.
That is a 19.
19. Okay, let me just make a quick roll. Let's see what happens here. This could be good for you, could be not. Ooh. You hear what initially seems like rushing footsteps, multiple, and you didn't hear them suddenly stop. You hear someone call out, "What are you up to, Sticky? Was someone there?"
They're not playing very nice. They won't do what I tell them. See, and I'm going to pretend that's the sound of rattling of bones.
So you got to cast it again. So how many times can you cast the minor illusion? Is it a leveled spell or a cantrip?
Cantrip.
Sweet. Makes it nice and easy then. On a third cast of a cantrip in a short space of time, I will get you to roll a d6 for a possibility of exhaustion. Just move it, just so we are clear moving forward.
Yeah.
You hear back. We'll hold the deception check because you rolled pretty high, and you hear the guy go, "Fucking dumb ogre," and you hear footsteps move away slowly.
Whew. And I'm going to just stand there and listen for a bit, and just. I think we're good.
Tolvr is going to get up. He's going to find the half-rotten arm, and he's going to open up, what do you call it, Sticky's mouth and stick it in there.
Okay, easily enough done.
Permission to check if Sticky had anything on him. I don't think so, but man, he's really sticky now, isn't he?
Yes. Yep, you can do that. That's a good idea.
I'll investigate Sticky's body.
Don't need to roll for it. Sticky is wearing nout but a loincloth. Had this rudimentary club with great big nails, so hand forged iron nails sticking out of it. Apart from the meager possessions, which would have been the bones that he was playing with, there is nothing on Sticky's body.
Well, I've seen a bit more of an ogre than I really wanted to. They don't have pockets. This is just a cloth. I'll recover him. Dignity and death is important. And I just sort of pat it down like.
Yeah, it's probably about as big as your leg too. So, just so you know.
Oh,
and about as hairy.
Yes, doing the hand is a good idea. We should put his friend with him, and he's going to go grab the two skeletons and drag them over. After doing this, he's going to go up to LV and say, "If you see one of us fall unconscious, you have permission to kill."
Affirmative.
The one thing you do notice, Various, however, just looking at him, there is on his left breast, just above the nipple, there is what looks to be a handprint. And it, without roll a survival check for me, just survival or medicine, your choice to determine what it is. It's dark brown in color, but it looks like it's been there for a while. A little bit of running from it. Yeah, you're not sure what it is, but it's definitely a handprint. Looks like it might have been maybe a right hand being pressed against his chest. It's definitely not his hand. It's a human handprint, so that's probably why I didn't notice it in the beginning. But now that he's lying still and laying there, you can see that quite clearly it's a human handprint just over his left breast.
I'll just make note of it.
Yep.
You going to say anything? Okay, he's not.
Yeah, does Varys say anything or just take note?
He's got a weird a print on his chest. I don't really know what it's about.
Is it a tattoo?
Doesn't look like a tattoo. Doesn't look like any tattoo that you've seen, and you've probably seen a few.
From where Dilly's standing, can she see what I'm seeing?
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing that pool that's red.
With the torchlight, you probably would, yeah.
I'm going to cautiously walk up to about here.
You're going to cautiously? That'll be a stealth check.
I'm not going any further.
That'll still be a stealth check.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, nah, she trips over a few rocks with a 6.
Okay, I need to make a roll from this dude. All right, carry on.
She just wants to see what it is.
So, yeah, from where you are, it's what you can see again because of the elevation. You can see this. It's a cage of sorts hanging above this, whatever this pool is. You can probably see half of the pool, so you can probably see from this area out to the edge here where this torchlight is. But the rest, because this elevation here is still relatively high, so you can only see sort of half of it. But it's shimmering red liquid. From that distance in the light, kind of hard to tell what it is, but it's dark red and it's glistening in the torchlight. Is about all you can determine from this.
Move what the stream can see up.
Oh shit! So this is what Dilly's seeing up here. You can see half of this. She can see this cage and half of that pool in the torchlight. I'll zoom out so we can sort of see here where everyone is. So those of you are down here, you can see down that lit hallway in front of you. Right down, you can see off in the distance. You can see a doorway, a closed door in the end there. It is, as I say, it's definitely closed. You can't really see anything else at this point. But Dilly, you, after a little while of looking at the pool, you hear a door open, and you see another beam of light come from this direction.
Dilly will back into the corner there to try and be out of line of sight, like behind her, somewhere where they wouldn't be able to see her.
And you see a single figure sort of walk out to there, and they sort of start scanning the room. And they stop sort of looking. It looks like they're looking over in sort of this direction. And you sort of caught the edge of a cage or something on the edge there as well. And you see him sort of peer over and shrugs his shoulders, looks around for a bit, and then slowly turns and starts heading back.
Marath and Uth, are you two okay? I didn't see if you two got hit at all.
And you hear that door close as well.
Okay.
Marissa says, I'm fine.
I'm fine. Just watching our backs.
Are you okay? You took a club, to the face. Looked like it hurt. I mean, I think you got a dent. Maybe a new butt down your forehead.
But I'm sure it'll grow back.
I mean,
Tolvr is going to go to where the handprint is.
Yes.
And with his axe, he's going to try and slice off the piece of flesh. I'm assuming it's it's a handprint burnt into the body?
No, it's not burnt in. It's definitely on the skin. Almost looks like paint, but it's dark and it's kind of crusty, like it's kind of flaky and dry. but it looks like dark, almost like dark red paint. Reaper with a advantage for Drax. So you're going to attempt to slice the piece of skin with the handprint off with your axe.
In order to keep the piece of
Okay. Survival check with disadvantage because you're using a large instrument.
Tolvr, wait. You're probably going to need something a little bit finer than an axe.
I mean, he's pretty skilled with the axe, but...
Yeah, chopping heads off, maybe.
And a couple of hand axes, but...
Jilly's gonna twirl her dagger in her hand and just see if they notice.
Exactly, Dilly. Be my guest.
Well, I was just going to take the whole lump off, but if you think I just want to take the skin off...
I hand him the dagger.
Okay, just
I
a
want it
straight
back.
survival roll.
Try and do it with a dagger.
Okay, yeah, so just a survival roll.
13.
13's not bad. It's not bad. So at 13, you're able to take the piece of flesh. You take enough of it that it doesn't sort of shrink and screw up like an old piece of leather or paper. But you take it, it's going to dry out, and it's going to, you know what skin does when it dries out. It's pretty weird. You've skinned enough the animals to see what happens. You know it's going to lose its shape and all sorts of stuff, but you managed to grab it. Tolvr, roll a history check for me just quickly. And anyone else that is proficient in history, if you are proficient in history, you're able to roll this roll. If you're not, it'll only be Tolvr. Actually, LV, you can roll this history check as well. You've been around in Paradigm long enough. Actually, Uth, you can as well, please. So we've got a 11, we've got an 11, and we've got a 6. So Tolvr and LV. LV, a fragment of memory returns to you just suddenly, just as they're all sort of milling around this body, and you see them extracting this piece of flesh with this handprint on it, and a title comes to you: Bloody Hand, cultist group. It's in your memory banks as one of the cults that you were specifically sent to find and eradicate before your directives were changed.
Access in memory, symbol of the Bloody Hand.
And Tolvr, with LV mentioning the Bloody Hand, it instantly twigs your memory. You've heard of the Bloody Hand. You've heard the merchants talking about this cult, the Bloody Hand, that kidnaps and murders people and uses them for sacrifice and such. Definitely not nice people, generally.
For the record, gentlemen, there are 2 cages down there, and a cultist came out and checked on it. Just letting you know. And I'll point to
Okay.
with a pull.
Well, this cult is definitely someone we need to get rid of. A group we need to get rid of. I don't know if we have the capability of wiping them all out, but...
Commander, what was the orders for this mission anyway?
That there was cultist. It was believed that there's cultist activity in the area, and to go and check out the area and see if there is or not.
Well, with
I
that
mean-
being
I believe it
said-
was dispatch or capture.
Ah,
I'm glad you remembered that, because I totally didn't.
If my memory served me well,
Dolby.
if my memory served me well, Corporal, I believe I have killed some of these in the past, many years ago. Permission to assassinate on sight.
Agreed. Confirmed.
Affirmative. and one eye just goes red right around the outer rim. He goes, "Assassination protocol active."
We have been ordered to kill the cultists by the sergeant.
Or
Well,
capture, was it not? We can at least try
no.
and capture one.
You're very welcome to. Just remember to gag him.
Well, if there's stuff in the cages, maybe they'll be able to help us, because surely if they're in the cage, they probably not with the cultists, right? And if there's any more ogres, then we could use all the help we could get, yeah?
Agreed. I like that idea. I suppose if we're going to gag them, and he reaches into the ogre's mouth and pulls out the hand, well, I might be needing this. He's going to get the piece of flesh with the hand on it and delicately place it into his backpack. Keeping it for evidence.
It's pretty. It's getting pretty smelly, dude.
It's only going to get worse, Corporal, I hope you know.
Jilly's gotten out a notebook and has drawn a picture of the hand in her notebook. Just in case. She hasn't told anyone she's done this, but she's done it just in case.
It was a piece of flesh with the hand on it that he put in his backpack, not the arm that he just took out of the mouth.
Okay.
He's holding the arm in his hand.
LV walks up to the corporal, and his two portions of his back pop open, and he says, "My compartments will keep the smell at bay for now, other than your sackcloth bag."
I was thinking more along the lines of we might need it, like to. All right, we'll stick it in your bag. just because he's trying to contain himself.
As you put it in there, the back panels close up, and LV says, "Just holler if you need it."
Excellent. All right, should we go check out these cages?
Time for these criminals to die.
Right.
Do you want someone to keep watch here, Corporal?
I would say that we're probably best to stick as a group.
Noted.
Affirmative.
I believe I have another healing potion in my bag, which I'm going to use.
Okay. Roll a d20 first to see if it crits. Ooh, another high roll, but it does not. So roll 2d4 plus 2, and then make sure you mark those off your inventories. So that'll be 7 points of healing damage for Tolvr.
Sweet. Looking a bit happier again.
DM for reference.
Yes.
LV extends his hook blades and drops them into two leg panels, which are housing the old poisons now.
Okay, cool. Roll a d6 for me, LV. Odds, all seems well. Evens, your poison will not work.
We called that the other time. You hit it the opposite way.
Was the other? Okay.
Odds fail.
Whatever
evens,
you've put down,
D4.
yeah. Whatever you put down, just mark that. No, because you're applying poison, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Okay.
Evens, she's good.
It's good. So an extra d4 of poison damage on your
Excellent.
attacks. We'll save for the next hour.
Sweet. Yeah, it's.
What's the poison say normally? Does it say how long it lasts on an object?
It's 3 use.
Okay,
so
3 uses on it. Okay, so
yeah,
3 attacks.
yeah,
Cool.
Basically 3 attacks.
3
yeah.
hits. No worries. We'll keep it that way then.
You don't want to overuse it.
Yeah, no dramas. So, where are we going, team? Has an order been given? A decision been made? Where are we heading?
Heading to the cages, I believe.
All right.
Okay, so heading to the cages.
Follow Dilly. Dilly knows where we're going.
The Dilly leads the way.
Tolvr walks into a wall, apparently.
You move yourself forward. Whoop, crap, balls. standing on top of people. So as you get to this area here, you get a little closer. You can now definitely see that this pool is definitely a dark red liquid. It's kind of glowing on the top almost as it ripples. It is very... This whole area smells very sort of coppery. Got a real coppery sort of smell. Even you can almost taste it. It's that thick in the air. Everyone can roll a medicine check for me to see if they... medicine or perception? Oh, no, we'll say medicine. Have to be medicine. To see if you can determine what the smell is or potentially what this liquid may be. Oath with a 20. Natural 20, I believe.
Senses activated.
21 from Tolvr. High rolls. Marius not even going to roll because holy crap.
9.
9 from... So Dilly, you're not entirely sure, but everyone else...
I'm sitting there licking my lips as if I've bit it.
Yeah,
Kind of
everyone
deal.
else you know that smell. Marius definitely knows it without even probably rolling. He's lived with this smell pretty much his whole life. Uth, you've probably smelt smelt your own on several occasions with getting yourself in a bit of trouble here and there.
Who me?
But LV as well, you've definitely been involved in enough of this stuff to know what it is. This pool is filled. I mean, not sure how deep it is. You can't see the bottom, but it is definitely blood. And as you sort of, if you get a little closer, you sort of peer over the edge. You can see it. It's thick. It's got that. It's frothing around the edges, and it's sort of shimmering with a faint sort of magical glow, almost. Well, seems magical, more to the point.
I'm not
Gilly will... I was just
sure.
gonna
I want to know where they got that much blood from.
Gilly's going to hand out her hand to the corporal dagger.
Oh yes, take that dagger back again. Sorry.
And from you can
And
see in
Dilly-
the edge of the torchlight, you can see another pool over here as well.
This doesn't look good, gents. And she's going to move up a little bit, and she's going to see that cage.
Now, in this cage, as you sort of peer around the corner, Dilly, and that, even though it looks like it's on top, it's not. It's in the cage. Let me see here. I've got a little description here. So, as you sort of peer around the corner, inside the cage, you see a bunch of creatures, maybe 8, could be 10, quite small. They don't seem to be doing a whole lot. They're just sort of hanging. I mean, they're hanging out there, but they're just they don't seem to be trying to get out. They're just sort of standing there looking around. They haven't really seen you at this point. And I would say Dilly probably doesn't know what they are. But they are odd-looking creatures. Let's see if I can bring up a picture of them, actually. This is what you see. They look way bigger in the picture than what they actually are, but they're quite small. They're not huge. They're a small creature, but there's probably about 8 or 9, 10 of them in there. They don't look like they'll be overly friendly, either. But they're not threatened. They're not moving. They're not growling. They're just not really doing anything.
There's some weird creatures. They've got like bat-like ears, like pig nostrils, and insect eyes with like really jaw-type teeth. They're really tiny. There's probably about 8 to 10. They're a bit of a greyish, greenish colour. Anyone know what that is?
Sounds like baby dragons.
Bat-like ears. I know what a dragon looks like.
Searching memories.
Roll a nature check for those that want to see if they can determine what this creature is. I would say Various, you would have no idea. You've only been in
Jelly's good.
material plane for a short time. Natural 20 from Tolvr. Mareth has been... He's been around, but he's not sure either, so he's not going to make the roll. Bruce, you can make the roll if you want, if you think you might know what they are. I mean, you're from Paradigm, so you'd probably... You've been around, but I'm not sure if you'd know these creatures either. But Tolvr...
So what is it?
Yes, Uth?
What role is it?
Nature. Pay attention. Wake up. Have a coffee. Or 4. Or 12.
I'm on my second one now.
Nature, yeah, even yeah. So LV and Uth, you have probably heard of them with the description you've just been given. It's a pretty good description. So you've definitely heard of them. You probably wouldn't have heard of the name, but you've definitely heard of the creature. It sounds familiar. Tolvr, you've in the number of years that you've been in and around the northern parts of the Howling Mountains, I would say that you've probably come across 2 or 3 of these things in your time. Maybe just out hunting, or just in when you've been escorting travelers to the capital. And you know full well what this is. This is a dretch. It's kind of a demon-like creature, but not really. They don't really have much intelligence. Pretty good eating though, from what you remember.
Looks like a dretch. I remember them being quite delicious.
Are they some sort of animal, Corporal?
More like a demon, and
Oh,
not very pleasant.
Dredge. Forget our name, logged.
Probably shouldn't let them out.
Scanning
said
for
you saw
red
a
hand
cultist.
marks.
You said you saw a cultist up here, Dilly? Or someone. Did you know where they went?
Can I see the door now? I know I can, but can Dilly actually see it?
Yeah, you'd be able to. I mean, you should be able to see the edge of the door. Probably this sort of the door frame on this far side from where you are. It's probably just outside of the torchlight, but you got dark vision, so you'd probably just make it out.
So, and I'll point directly at where I'm seeing what I think is the door.
Yep.
Because I saw him go that way. From there.
Yeah, you definitely when they came out, you definitely saw that light spill out into this corridor here. So you know where the door is, even without seeing it. You know that that's down that area there. On the other side of that pool, there is a door there somewhere, even if you can't physically see the door.
Yep. From down there. Varys. Can you see?
I can't really see much of anything. Should we keep going though, Corporal? It's a shame those demon things won't be much help, but might as well keep going this way, I think.
Well, judging from this room, if we want to avoid the big puddle, then we're going to have to go right past those little things in that cage, which they might be quite loud and send people running.
That wasn't too loud, but they sort of, with you guys talking, they sort of noticed you, and you can see one of them sort of gets up to the cage and makes a bit of a noise. Nothing like super loud, but they've definitely noticed you.
We could always go back the way we came.
There was that hallway that we could see from over by the thing. We'd go down there, and maybe we'll come around from the other side. Don't know how deep that blood is, but
Let's not find out. I'm 3'5".
exactly. I don't want to go swimming in it. So we'll go back around and then go down that hallway.
Okay, so move yourself. Excuse me. Move yourselves into position at the hallway entrance. For me. Or move.
Come on, Marath.
He's a bit slow. I'll zoom in on this here. So as you see here, again, you see what you see is what you see. There's a chamber here to the left, which is in darkness. You can see another torch just down to your right here as well. Sort of peering around the corner, you can see that there is a double door at the end of this corridor. Looks like there's a turn off here, and maybe either another turn off or a doorway there and here, and I'll see the door at the end of this hallway. Perception rolls, everyone, please. Let's see what can be heard from your position.
I'm actually going to burn an advantage. That's my third fail on a perception roll with a 2.
Okay, so Various got a 4, Tolvr with an 8, Uth with an 8, LV with an 8. Oh my god.
Dilly with a 14.
Dilly with a 14. So even though you're still standing there listening, I mean, all of you think you might hear something. Might be a voice or a couple of voices talking, maybe. Maybe might be the dretches you can hear, maybe a growl. Dilly, you definitely heard at least one voice off in the distance somewhere. You couldn't make out the direction or sort of where it came from, but there's definitely people here. That much you do know. You've seen the one cultist for sure. You can only assume there's definitely more than one. I mean, it seems to be, looking at this corridor, it seems to be relatively well kept. It's not dirty. The torches are lit and they're bright, so they're not like burning dimly as if they've been left for quite some time. So they're definitely being maintained. So yeah, it's kind of eerie. It's very quiet. The sound of kind of the wind coming through the cavern, and a bit of an eerie sort of noise on the back end of that somewhat as well. Almost like the sound a portal makes. Dilly, you'd probably know this better than anyone. That same type of ambient sort of arcane noise that you get just on the back end of stuff. So there's definitely something going on here.
Shh. Be very quiet. There's at least one that we know of. And we heard movements when we fought the ogre. But there's a sound I haven't heard, well, other than Blondie, over a year ago. Just be very careful. I don't know what they could be transporting through here. And I don't know how it works in this realm.
Alright, well, if you saw that one guy in that Paul's direction, we'll go around to the left and go up the corridor to the left. Hopefully there's only one guy.
So you're going to go this way?
I was going to go this way.
Yep, that's what I mean. So that way leading up to the left. No worries. So you can move yourself. You can see what you can see.
Follow me.
So the room is dark. Well, darkened. Dilly would probably be able to see better than most leading into this room.
Jelly, I need you up front. I can't see a lot.
Maris says, I'll wait here, and sort of just waits at almost like the cross juncture, sort of making sure that he can see line of sight down both these hallways in case something sort of happens and comes in.
Okay, what do I see?
Right. I mean, you would all kind of see it in the darkness. I mean, what you can see again on the map is what I see. Those that have dark vision will see more. Those that don't have it will sort of make shapes out. You can see two torches on the walls. They are not lit. There's one either side of the statue here. It's definitely not, they're not lit, but they look like they could be lit if you really wanted to. The room is lined with 6 narrow pillars. They support the ceiling, which is about 15 feet tall. There's a 10-foot tall statue of a bearded man wielding 2 swords and wearing a wide brim hat. Stands against this north wall. Statue has been defaced. It's covered in graffiti. The nose on its face has been broken off. At its base, the plaque reads in common, Callum Winterdane. founder of the Blood Hunter Order of the Lycan. Now, those
What
that are
was that last
from
bit again?
Order of the Lycan, as in werewolf. So yeah, so founder of the Blood Hunter Order of the Lycan is what it reads. So those that are from Paradigm, so Uth, LV, you would probably have a log of this in your memory bank somewhere. And even Tolvr, you've been in the realm long enough that you would have definitely heard, you've heard of Blood Hunter orders, and you definitely would have heard of the Order of the Lycan. In fact, if any of you'd been paying attention to some of the histories that you'd been told while in the keep, you may have all heard about the Order of the Lycan, specifically because one of the Lions of Valond was a member of the Order of the Lycan Blood Hunters. Or Order of the he was a Ghost Slayer, but there are orders out there. So it is probably familiar to most of you.
Can Dilly do a history check to see if she has any kind of knowledge of remembering that from the keep? She knows what Lycan means,
you
but she's
can,
trying to work
yeah.
out what the...
Yep, make history. I mean, if anyone wants to get any more information, you can roll a history check.
12.
Yeah, I mean, you remember it probably coming up in conversation about the Blood Hunter orders, and that Sadiq, the first commander of the militia, was Order of the Ghost Slayer, which was now has a order house within the capital city, and there was talk about the Order of the Lycan as well, and other Blood Hunter orders being out there. The Order of the Lycan was not as prominent, and they kind of fell by the wayside in Paradigm, where they didn't really take off, and no one knows sort of why. Who got the... we got a 20 and an 18. Yeah, LV, you've probably heard of the name. You've definitely heard of the Order. You know what Blood Hunters are, but you've got no knowledge further than that. Various and Uth. Various, funnily enough, you definitely took notice when you take a lot of notes when you're being in your training sessions, so you definitely would have written down this information about the Lycan, the Order of the Lycan Blood Hunter. It seems that Callum Winterdane and Uth, you had probably heard stories around taverns and inns. Maybe an old Order member may have given you this information, a night of drinking, or you've coerced him in some way with your abilities. Callum Winterdane indeed was the founder of the Order of the Lycan. Suspected werewolf. No one could know for sure, but the Order of the Lycan had certain abilities, werewolf-like abilities.
Nancy Evenweaver would have done it.
Probably.
She was a blood hunter.
Well, there you go. That's right, she was too, indeed.
And Order of the Lycan.
Well, there you go. So that's where you got your information from. So it is widely stated that they had a secret hideout which they would use to hide from the rest of the world, to hide from persecution, because often werewolves are seen as being evil creatures and creatures of supernatural undeath, and are therefore hunted regularly and have been hunted for many generations. It is entirely possible that Uth and Various, with the information that you found in the history books when you were doing your histories, maybe when you were searching for histories on Warforged, you stumbled across this information instead and logged it away for later useless information. But it appears you may have stumbled across, potentially, the former hideout of the Order of the Lycan, which obviously seems to have been taken over by whatever cult this is. But that is what you see in this room.
I feel like we've stumbled upon a piece of history. I think we should probably go and search elsewhere.
Yep, it looks like a dead end.
Sounds sounds like a good idea.
So, Uth and Varys, if you want to impart that information about what you know, it's up to you. You can keep it to yourselves.
Various would just start dribbling, so yeah, he'd
Yep,
let
no
everyone
worries.
know.
I'll let Various.
So Varys just starts dribbling on pretty much what I've just given, the information I've just given you guys. He just starts rattling off, almost without even thinking, just starts mumbling to himself, and it just gets loud enough to a conversation where you all hear about Callum and the Order of the Lycan, the persecution of the werewolves, and that they'd hidden themselves away. And Varys then goes, "Oh, maybe this is where they hid away. Who knows?"
Various. I know you like to take notes and talk a lot, but now is really not a good time.
Marath, anyone down the hall?
Haven't seen or heard anything. I mean, possible footsteps up here, but can't tell.
Okay. Orders, Corporal.
Go up there and have a look.
There's light. Do I have to be in front?
There's light, I'll be on front.
I'll bring up the rear. I'll make sure we don't get followed.
Various is still very intent on the statue. He's like looking around. He's fascinated. He doesn't realise everyone else has left him.
Peer around this corner.
Marath would probably, as he walked past, bring up the rear, be like, "Various, fuck you doing?"
Oh, this statue is quite fascinating, and
Yep, we can come back to it later. Come on.
yeah, okay.
So, as you move forward,
I'm going to peer around this corner.
you're going to peer around this corner.
Yep.
So move yourself out so you can see what's there. So as you peer around the corner, you see, again, another lit torch here in a doorway, it seems. You see what could be, you didn't go that way, but you know that there's another sort of room and down that area with what you've been told. So this could be leading into that area as well. I'll get you Tolvr specifically too, because you're sort of there. This corridor's only about 5 feet wide, so I'll get you to roll just a perception check on your own, please, to see if you can hear anything as you sort of peer down this hallway. Natural 20. You hear voices down here, maybe 3 or 4, almost like a chant. Just a low, in this direction, just a low, just sort of a low chant.
Just gonna turn around and say, I can hear people down that way, but maybe we should check these top areas first. I can't tell if that's a door there.
It looks like a door on the map, but there's actually no door there. It's just a corridor.
So, alright, follow me, sort of whisper.
Okay, so are you trying to be stealthy before we move any further forward?
Yeah, I guess I would be, but I mean, it's pretty thin thing.
So, with that, if you are all trying to be stealthy, we will need some stealth checks, please. 16 from Marath.
7.
7, 19, 9, and 9.
Alvy's going to use an inspiration to add a D10 to that.
Okay, roll a D10.
God damn it. Clickety click.
Actually, Earth's going to do the same.
No worries. So 17 from LV. Yeah, make sure you keep track of your advantages and stuff.
Thank you, Yanti, for that one.
And that boosts yours for 17 as well. So the only one that is low is nobody. Because Marath scored pretty good too. Tolvr is a 9.
No, Dilly got a 7.
Oh, Dilly got a 7, so we got a couple under 10. So I need to... Oh, you got a couple under 10. Okay, so what you hear, Tolvr, as you approach this hallway, you hear a voice sort of almost calls out towards you, but is not talking to you. Hey, I think someone's here. You go have a look. And you hear footsteps starting to come down the corridor towards you.
From this way.
From that way, yep. Directly from that hallway. And that's where we're going to call tonight's session, ladies and gentlemen. Because we're getting close. We're about 20 past 10. We're definitely going to call it there. Because there's stuff happening and coming that, yeah, I don't want to get that started now before we end up tonight's session. So we're going to call that one there. Go back over here. Thank you everyone for joining us again this evening for another Sunday Shadows Embrace. Thank you players for joining yet again for another session. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. We had a little battle there. Before you go, we are going to do a little bit of XP so you guys can get that done. We're going to grab Sticky's XP. I've got to find Sticky on my list here. Is Sticky. Sticky's got a slightly lower XP. How many have we got here? 2, 4, 5. 100 XP each. I'll round it up because it was 450, but I'll round it up to 500 so you get 100 each. I don't like dealing in odd numbers. Hurts my brain. So 100 XP each, guys. Add that to your sheet. If you're not sure how, DM me in Discord and I will help you out or sort it out for you. But you just generally go to manage experience and add XP from there. So,
before we start, apologies to the players and
you look like you're asleep, but you're good. It's all good, Trash. You're walking in from work and sitting down and playing.
Checked out Discord. They understand the reason why.
Well, what's happened in Discord? What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. The bloody Roo did it.
Oh, did you crash your car? Did you get hit by a Roo on your car?
You could say that there.
Or a Roo hit you, should I say?
Yes, Roo hit me.
Where am I looking? Oh, Jesus.
Pick some things.
Holy shit. That's like the second time. Was it a cow or something the first time? Was it a Roo the other time as well?
Okay, so I was in a pulsar. There was a small Roo that hit that. That actually put that off the road. About the same size Roo hit that, and it survived, so I'm happy. Don't know about the Roo, though.
Yeah, so the damage just to the bonnet then? Nothing too serious?
Don't know yet. Haven't opened it up.
Man.
Too scared to.
Yeah, I'd be too. Anywho, favourite moments. We'll start with Mr. Orbasm and Mr. Drax because we got a couple have got to leave because of work and stuff. So, LV, a moment for you from tonight's session.
I was kind of amused when Tolvr fell through the floor and he sort of made that comment where he's like, oh, well, I'm the fattest here or whatever. That's pretty funny.
I think he is the heaviest in the group, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be far off him, but yeah, I'd say he is.
Yeah, between you two, it'd be pretty close.
And then I had a couple, but I'll just take one more. Various, when he said to Tolvr, permission to do something a little bit dangerous right before he did the old
the charm person, yeah.
And charmed him. And,
it was worth a shot.
Failed,
yeah, it was definitely worth a shot because he did have a low wisdom. It's just he rolled pretty well. So
those were good. And like I said, there's heaps more, but I'd leave it to other people.
No worries. And Mr. Tolvr, Corporal Tolvr, a moment or two from you, please.
Compensation of throwing Dilly.
I was waiting for it. It's like, yes, okay, let's throw Dilly because that'll be funny.
Well, it's like all these people talking about climbing up there or throwing them, and I'm just like, I've got wings.
I know, right?
I could just let this happen. And Various saying that he saw too much ogre.
That was brilliant. Very good. And chat as well, if you've got a moment at Evldoa in the chat so we can read it out as well, definitely let us know. Dilly, speaking of throwing gnomes.
The arm. I got something for you to play with.
That was good.
I brought you something. And I think I had another one, and I can't
If
quite
it was
remember what it is.
less smelly, I think Sticky might have gone for it.
I was going to eat it myself.
So
If
it's
he
been
hadn't
you haven't salted it, and it's been in your
forgot
backpack for 2.5 days. So
To be honest, I was going to firebolt it if he hadn't attacked and say, here's some cooked meat. But yeah, but that didn't end up working
That's
out
all
that
good.
way. And there were other things, but I've completely forgotten. I wrote them down and I can't find them in my notes because I've been going backwards and forwards in my notes trying to go through what we actually said and did and all that. So
no worries, various.
I really enjoyed Sticky. I thought it was great. Well done. That's why I wanted to be friends with Sticky, but it didn't happen.
And unfortunately,
really-
Sticky was not interested in being friends with you guys.
Oh, man. I really liked how LV remembered that he's not allowed to kill. I thought that was great.
Yep.
A great moment at RP, like, oh yeah, I can't actually kill this dude because I've been told not to. And yeah, Dilly with the daggers when Tolvr is about to like chop off the hand out of. He's like, she's spinning the daggers like, this is what you need.
Yeah, a more precise instrument for this particular job. Anything else?
No, that's
Nope.
me, I think.
Mr. Smartridge.
Well, seeing I've been distracted for most of the session, the only thing that comes to mind is using the axe to get off the
handprint.
handprint.
Nothing else?
No, that's it.
No, I mean, you were pretty distracted. I mean, rightly so, looking at that photo. And of course, you just walked in the door from work too, so it doesn't always help. But anywho, for me, I think there's a couple of things. Obviously, the discussion with the dilly throwing was definitely, I was thinking, okay, are we going to do this? Because this will be fun. We're definitely going to come up with something there. It could be interesting. But no, we got the lock picking. We got that done. Obviously, Tolvr falling through the floorboards, the rotting floorboards. That could have pretty much happened to anybody except for Dilly. She's way too light to have, unless she hit, there was one spot which was really rotten that you all could have fallen through quite easily. So it was just sort of one of those things. Yeah, Varus's charm person, I mean, like, so that could have changed the whole course of that thing, because I think if you'd managed to pull that off, Sticky would have been your best friend. Like, in that moment, there was no way that Sticky would not have been your best friend. He's got an intelligence of 5 and a wisdom of 7. Well, rolled a natural 14. So, I know, natural 16, I think it was on the dice. It was -2, down to a 14. But yes, unfortunately, Sticky has was made the way he was and would have attacked you no matter what, unless the charm person had worked. So that worked out. It was kind of odd, but anyway. But yes, Dill says the role player Sticky reminds him of the dead mines in World of Warcraft. I think there's an ogre in the original Dead Mines that had a similar voice, and it was one of the bosses, I think, 2-headed boss, second or third boss in Dead Mines, which was, yeah, I remember that. But yeah, so that was it for us, guys. So that's another session done and dusted. We'll be back tomorrow with some more maps, continuing with the Curse of Strahd maps. We finished up the Amber Temple. That's all done. I think next up in the A's, I think, is Arcane Vostok, which is the house. So that'll be an interesting one. One here was smart, one was dumb, that's right, and had a goblin riding it. So Tuesday, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. Might be some more maps and things. We'll maybe do some carry on with the Arcane Boss maps. And then Wednesday, the 11th, the start of our mini adventure. So we will be seeing Grim, we'll be seeing Dill, we'll be seeing Nutty, and I believe Drax on Wednesday night for our mini adventure into the Snake Pit. So definitely come and hang out with us for that. That'll be a lot of fun. Not sure how long it's going to last. It could last 1 session, it could last 10 sessions. We don't know, but it should be a bit of fun.
That would depend on what points get given where? Mine probably
Oh,
goes
yes.
to DM.
That again depends on channel points. Or I've got my first advantage stashed away for campaign 2. I think my second advantage stashed away for campaign 2. So we've got
266k.
well, that's a lot of advantages for the DM. Don't forget you got Spare the Dying and stuff too, guys. If you want to save your points up for critical moments during combat, where you can save a character with Spare the Dying. We've got the Fey Doctor as well, which is the health potion. We've obviously got the advantage and the inspiration and a couple of bits and pieces there. So make sure you got your channel points here for that. We'll be back obviously Thursday for more maps. Friday, who knows? Saturday, Saturday I won't be here. I'll be at Baz's for home game. But Friday might be a bonus stream. We'll see. And then back here Sunday for some more of this. Yeah. So we'll see you guys when we see you guys tomorrow. We should probably raid, shouldn't we? Because we have a lot of people here.
And I'll see you all later, guys. Thank you.
Nice trash. Baz.
So close.
All these S names, man. Catch you, dude. Who is on? Aussie Defro's doing some D&D. We've got
about to.
Norris, dude. Catch you, Drax.
No, Drax.
Who are we gonna rate? We're gonna rate Aussie Defro. We haven't rated him for a little while. And they're doing their D&D. We'll give Aussie a raid. Let's go back to Stream Manager. Alright guys, that is us for tonight. We are going to raid Aussie Defro. I will see you tomorrow for some maps and things, some more Curse of Strahd stuff. Come and hang out, listen to some music, watch me frustrate myself all to hell by trying to create a map, and talk D&D, because that's what we do. And I talk lots. Everyone will tell you. So with that, later on, catches. Bye.